Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel USA Old Coins. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of old United States coins. From the shiny Lincoln pennies to rare Jefferson nickels and historic Washington quarters, each coin tells a story about America's past. These coins aren't just currency, they're tiny pieces of history, carrying the art, culture, and milestones of their era. Whether you're a collector, history enthusiast, or just curious about the value hidden in your pocket change, you're in for an exciting journey. Let's explore the stories behind these iconic coins and uncover the treasures that lie in plain sight. Top 1. The story of the United States Kennedy half 1776 to 1976 dollar begins long before the coin ever reached the hands of collectors, and today, you and I are diving deep into a journey that feels almost like opening a hidden chapter of American history. Imagine holding a coin that was minted not just as currency, but as a symbol, an anniversary piece created to honor 200 years of a nation's struggle, sacrifice, pride, and resilience. This is the Bicentennial Kennedy half dollar, and its story is far more captivating than most people realize. So settle in, listen closely, and let this coin guide us through an unforgettable tale that keeps millions of collectors searching for that one perfect piece. When you look at this coin, the first thing that draws your eyes is the special dual date inscription, 1776 to 1976. It isn't just a date, it's a bridge between two centuries, linking the birth of a nation to a modern America pushing forward with hope and ambition. The front still carries the proud, uplifting portrait of President John F. Kennedy, a leader whose legacy remains both tragic and inspiring. But turn it around, and the real magic begins, the Independence Hall reverse design, standing tall as a tribute to the birthplace of American liberty. Every line, every stone carved into this building on the coin tells its own story, celebrating the moment when a young nation declared its independence. Collectors around the world feel a special attachment to this coin because it wasn't made for a single year. It was minted to celebrate an era. And whether someone collected coins for decades or only recently stepped into the world of numismatics, this Kennedy half dollar has a way of pulling people in with its powerful symbolism and unique design. You don't just see a coin, you feel history echoing through it. Now, let's go deeper, because the Bicentennial Kennedy half dollar isn't just interesting, it's layered with varieties, rarities, and errors that make collectors' hearts race. Even though millions were minted, only a small portion of them hold the kind of value that makes people spend years searching for them. One of the most exciting things about this coin is that it was struck in multiple compositions. Some were copper-nickel clad, while others were special silver-clad issues created specifically for collectors. These silver versions shine differently, feel heavier, and instantly set themselves apart from the everyday pocket change, but the real treasure hunt begins with the rare errors. Imagine spotting doubling on the lettering, a misaligned die strike that shifts part of the design, or a filled die error that hides small details of Independence Hall. These errors aren't just mistakes, they're fingerprints of the minting process, unique quirks that make a single coin stand out from millions of others. Some coins show die cracks running across Kennedy's portrait like tiny lightning bolts. Others have weak strikes where the details of the building blur slightly, turning a common issue into a desirable collectible. Collectors love these anomalies because no two error coins are exactly alike. There are also proofs, sharp, mirror finish masterpieces that were never meant for circulation. These carry an almost magical clarity, with frosted designs standing boldly against deep reflective surfaces. And among them, the cameo and deep cameo varieties are the true jewels. Their contrast is so striking that they feel almost three-dimensional, as if Kennedy and Independence Hall are stepping out of the metal itself. These are the coins collectors chase relentlessly, coins that can dramatically rise in value when found in perfect preservation. Even circulated examples draw attention when they have the right errors. A clipped planchet that removes a portion of the rim, a double-struck coin showing two impressions of the design, or a broad strike error that gives the coin a wider, flatter look. All of these transform a normal half dollar into an extraordinary collectible. Every time a collector holds a Bicentennial Kennedy half dollar with an error, they're holding a piece of minting history that exists nowhere else in the world. and that is why collectors love this coin so passionately. It's not just about the design, or the silver content, or even the bicentennial celebration. It's about the thrill of discovery, the excitement of finding that special variety, and the personal connection to a moment in history that shaped a nation. When a collector places this coin into their collection, it becomes more than metal, it becomes a story they retell with pride. If you have one of these coins at home, this is your moment. Take a good look at it. Check the edges. Study the details. See if there's something special hiding in plain sight. And if you want to know more about your own coins, comment below about your coins so our channel can give you full information about them. We love helping you discover what treasures you might already be holding, and now, the part you've been waiting for, the real market value and auction worth. A rare error, high-grade silver, or deep cameo bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar can reach more than $7,000 in words. Comment below about your coins so our channel can provide full details for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment. And make sure to like the video. Top 2. The story of the United States Kennedy half $1,972 begins with a moment frozen in American memory, a moment when the nation still carried the emotional weight of President John F. Kennedy's legacy. When you hold a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in your hand, you aren't just holding 50 cents, you are holding a piece of a time when America was rebuilding hope, rediscovering ambition, and preparing for a new chapter. And today, you and I are about to take a deep dive into this coin's world, uncovering the secrets, the errors, the rare varieties, and the reasons collectors still chase this coin with passion. So listen closely, because what you are about to hear may completely change the way you look at this seemingly common half-dollar. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar came out during a time when the mint had stopped producing silver for circulation coins. That means the 1972 half-dollar is a copper-nickel-clad coin, and many people assume that makes it ordinary. But collectors know the truth. This year hides some of the most intriguing varieties and rarest errors in the entire Kennedy half-dollar series. Even though millions were minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities, only a fraction hold the kind of unique features that can turn a simple coin into a treasure. You start to notice the beauty of the coin when you look at Kennedy's portrait. The sharp hair detail, the sculpted facial lines, the strong jaw, every curve of the engraving feels alive, as if capturing a leader still in motion. Then you turn the coin over and see the majestic presidential coat of arms, the bold eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, surrounded by a shining circle of stars. This design isn't just decorative, it symbolizes strength, unity, and the American spirit. And yet, despite this classic and familiar look, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar hides surprises that only careful collectors discover. Let's talk rarity. The most fascinating part of the 1972 half-dollar is that even though millions were made, the quality varies wildly. Some coins were struck with worn dies, creating soft details that collectors avoid. But others came from fresh dies that delivered crisp, bold imagery. These high-grade pieces, especially those found in Mint State 66, 67, and the nearly impossible Mint State 68, are the real stars of the series. Finding one in the wild is like finding lightning bottled in metal. Now comes the truly exciting part, the errors and varieties. Every collector's heartbeat quickens at the idea of discovering an error coin, and the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar has many that can transform a common piece into something rare and valuable. One of the most talked about errors is the double die obverse. Imagine looking closely at the date or the letters in the word liberty and seeing doubling, a slight but visible echo of the numbers and letters. This happens when the die shifts during creation, and it makes the coin instantly desirable because each double die is unique. Some 1972 halves show die cracks, tiny raised lines running across Kennedy's portrait or around the rim. These cracks form when the die starts to fracture, and collectors love them because they give the coin character and a personal identity. There are also struck-through errors where foreign material gets between the die and the planchet, leaving unusual marks or impressions that look like small dents or streaks. Every struck-through error is one of a kind, and that alone makes them valuable, but one of the most impressive types is the off-center strike. Imagine the coin being struck slightly outside its normal alignment, causing part of the design to shift left or right, leaving a blank crescent of smooth metal on the other side. The more off-center the strike, the more dramatic and collectible the coin becomes. And then there are clipped planchets, where the coin is missing a small piece along the edge because the blank metal disc was improperly cut. These clips make the coin instantly stand out from regular circulation pieces. Proof versions tell their own story as well. In 1972, the San Francisco Mint produced beautiful proof Kennedy half-dollars with mirror-like surfaces and frosted devices. The cameo and deep cameo versions are the real treasures here, with stunning contrast that makes the portrait appear almost lit from within. These are the coins collectors dream of finding in untouched, perfect quality, even though 1972 halves are common in circulation. Rare errors and high-grade examples are the ones that spark excitement. A collector holding a 1972 half-dollar with a bold double die, a dramatic off-center strike, or a deep cameo proof feels like they're holding history in its purest form. Each of these rare pieces tells a story, not just the story of Kennedy or 1972, but the story of the minting process itself, of accidents becoming miracles, of imperfections becoming treasures. So, if you have a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar at home, take a moment to really look at it. Inspect the edges. Check the lettering. Look closely at the date, the motto, the eagle's feathers. You never know which detail may reveal a hidden rarity that has been waiting years for someone like you to discover it. And if you want to know the value of your own coins, comment below about your coins so our channel can give you full information about them. Collectors love this coin not just because it honors a great leader or because it comes from a unique time in American history, but because every 1972 Kennedy half-dollar holds the possibility of being something special. A small difference in the strike, a slight shift in the die, a rare level of preservation, all of these create a thrill that keeps collectors searching, studying, and dreaming. And now, the part you have been waiting for, the real market value and auction worth. A rare high-grade 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with major errors can sell for more than $6,000 in words. Comment below about your coins so our channel can provide full details for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment. And make sure to like the video. Top 3. The story of the United States Kennedy half $1,973 begins with a quiet mystery that collectors still talk about today. At first glance, this coin may seem like another entry in the long-running Kennedy series, but once you begin to explore its details, its background, and its hidden rarities, you discover a world far more exciting than most people expect. Today, you and I are going to walk through that world, step by step, as if we are holding a bright lamp inside an old treasure room, revealing secrets one after another. So listen closely, because the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is a coin that rewards the careful listener, the curious collector, and the true coin lover. To understand why this coin is so fascinating, we need to travel back to 1973. The United States Mint had made a decision that changed everything for collectors. Unlike most previous years, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar was not released into regular circulation. That's right, people didn't receive these in their pocket change. Instead, the Mint produced them mainly for collector sets, making the 1973 half-dollar automatically more limited than other dates. This small decision created a ripple that continues to influence the value and rarity of the coin today. When you look at the obverse, Kennedy's portrait appears strong and beautifully engraved. His hair shows detailed waves, the cheekbones curve softly, and the famous profile presents dignity and calm. On the reverse, the powerful eagle spreads its wings as if ready to rise from the coin itself. The shield on its chest, the arrows in its talons, and the stars circling above create an image that symbolizes the nation's strength and determination. But beyond beauty, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar holds something more, uniqueness. Because the Mint did not release these coins for circulation, many were preserved in much better condition than coins from other years. This means collectors often find sharp, high-grade examples with full details. But this also means that the truly rare pieces stand out dramatically, those with errors, those in near-perfect condition, or those that show unusual characteristics. One of the most intriguing features collectors search for is a double die variety. When a die is accidentally imprinted twice during preparation, the letters or numbers on the coin appear with a slight overlapping effect. On a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, doubling can appear on Liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," or on the date. These coins are extremely desirable because each doubling looks slightly different, giving the coin a unique identity. Some collectors have discovered dramatic die cracks on 1973 halves. Imagine a small raised line stretching across Kennedy's hair, or running from the rim into the field. These cracks form because the die begins to break under heavy pressure, and every crack becomes a personal signature of that exact die. No two cracks are the same, making each coin one of a kind. Many collectors actually prefer these crack patterns because they tell a silent story of how the coin was created. There are also off-center strikes, coins where part of the design shifts toward one side, leaving a smooth blank crescent on the opposite edge. The more off-center the coin is, the rarer and more valuable it becomes. In extreme cases, the strike is so dramatic that parts of Kennedy's portrait or the eagle are completely missing. These are exciting pieces because they show the minting process going wrong in the most collectible way. Clipped planchets are another rare but thrilling error. This happens when a blank metal disc is cut incorrectly, removing a curved section of the rim. When you hold a clipped planchet Kennedy half, it instantly stands out, a beautiful mistake that transforms a common date into something extraordinary. Now let's talk about proof coins. The San Francisco Mint produced stunning proof versions of the 1973 half-dollar, with mirror-like fields and frosted designs. The cameo and deep cameo varieties are some of the most visually impressive coins you will ever see. They shine with a contrast so sharp that Kennedy's portrait appears to float above a black glass surface. These deep cameo coins, especially in perfect condition, are considered treasures by collectors. Another fascinating feature of the 1973 series is the difference between the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco coins. Each mint has slight variations in strike quality, surface texture, and overall clarity. Collectors enjoy comparing these differences, searching for the best examples and the rarest appearances. High-grade examples certified at Mint State 67 or 68 are incredibly hard to find, and when one surfaces, collectors rush toward it like treasure hunters hearing the sound of opening gold chests. But perhaps the greatest charm of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is its mystery. Because it was not released for normal circulation, many people go through their entire lives without ever seeing a 1973 half in their change. This creates a special excitement. When collectors finally find one, it feels like discovering a secret coin the mint tucked away for only the most dedicated seekers. So, if you have a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar at home, take your time examining it. Look at Kennedy's hair for doubling. Inspect the edges for clips. Check the fields for cracks and odd textures. You might be holding something far more rare than you ever imagined. And if you have questions about your own coins, comment below about your coins so our channel can give you full information about them. Collectors love this coin not only because of Kennedy's legacy, and not only because of the year's limited release, but because each 1973 half-dollar represents a hidden chapter of minting history. It is a coin that captures attention, sparks curiosity, and invites collectors into a deeper world of details, varieties, and discoveries. And now, here's the part you have been waiting for, the real market value and auction worth. A rare high-grade 1973 Kennedy half-dollar with major errors can sell for more than $5,000 in words. Comment below about your coins so our channel can provide full details for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment. And make sure to like the video. Top 4. The story of the United States Kennedy half $1,981 begins at a moment in American coin history when the nation was changing rapidly. The economy was shifting, technology was advancing, and the mint itself was transforming how it produced coins. Yet through all this change, one coin remained a symbol of continuity, the powerful, dignified Kennedy half-dollar. Today, you and I are going to embark on a journey into the world of the 1981 issue, a year full of hidden surprises, special varieties, and errors that make collectors look twice. So listen carefully, because every word you're about to hear opens another door into the secret life of this fascinating coin. When you hold a 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, the first thing you feel is the familiar weight of history. The portrait of President John F. Kennedy remains bold, proud, and full of character. The fine lines of his hair, the strength in his chin, the confident gaze, all of it reflects a leader who still inspires people decades later. On the reverse, the majestic presidential eagle spreads its wings, gripping arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. The stars circling above shine like a promise of unity. But what makes the 1981 half-dollar truly interesting is not just its design, it's the story behind its mintage. The year 1981 was special because the mint did not release Kennedy half-dollars widely into circulation. Most of them were produced specifically for collector sets, similar to the situation with the 1973 and 1970 issues. This means fewer circulated examples exist, and many of the coins from this year survived in beautiful condition. And because only a limited number were made, the 1981 half-dollar gained a quiet reputation as one of the more overlooked but surprisingly scarce dates in the modern series. But scarcity is just the beginning. Once you start examining these coins closely, you discover an entire world of rarity and unexpected value. Collectors particularly look for high-grade examples, coins that escaped scratches, wear, and dullness. Finding a Kennedy half-dollar from 1981 in mint state 66 or 67 is an exciting moment, and a mint state 68 is a treasure that shows perfection few coins will ever achieve. These high-grade varieties sparkle with sharp details, flawless Kennedy hairlines, crisp lettering, and an eagle whose feathers appear carved with precision. But now we enter the real thrill. The errors and varieties that make the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar explode with collector excitement. Some of the most captivating pieces are double-die obverse coins. Imagine focusing on the date or the motto "In God We Trust" and noticing a faint shadow-like doubling around the edges of the letters. This duplication is caused by a slight shift during the die creation process, and it instantly transforms an ordinary half-dollar into a collectible rarity. Each double die is unique, making it like a fingerprint of the minting process itself. Another beloved error is the die crack. These tiny raised lines can run across Kennedy's cheek, through his hair, along the rim, or even across the eagle on the reverse. Die cracks happen when a die begins to fracture after repeated use. Far from being defects, these cracks often become the very reason collectors seek a coin, because each crack pattern tells a different story. Off-center strikes are another thrilling discovery. When a blank planchet is misaligned during striking, the design lands off to one side, leaving part of the coin blank. A dramatic off-center strike, especially one where both the date and portrait are visible, is extremely desirable. The bigger the shift, the more valuable the coin. Clipped planchets offer yet another layer of excitement. These coins are missing a curved section along the rim because the metal sheet was improperly cut. This rare error is instantly eye-catching, turning a normal 1981 half-dollar into a unique minting mistake worth collecting. Then we have one of the most famous varieties of the year, the Type 1 and Type 2 proof varieties. The 1981 San Francisco Mint produced two different S-Mint mark styles by accident. The Type 1 proof has a blurry, less defined S-Mint mark. The Type 2 proof has a sharper, cleaner, more elegant S-Mint mark. The Type 2 proof is much rarer and is one of the most sought-after Kennedy half-dollar varieties of the entire modern era. Proof coins from 1981 must also be admired for their beauty. The San Francisco Mint created mirror-like masterpieces, with brilliant reflective fields and frosted designs that appear almost three-dimensional. Deep cameo examples are especially breathtaking, with contrast so sharp that Kennedy looks like he's glowing against a pool of black glass. These proof coins, especially Type 2 varieties, are often considered the crown jewels of the 1981 series. Collectors love the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar because it represents both rarity and beauty. It came from a year when half-dollars were not circulating, meaning fewer pieces exist. It contains special mint mark varieties that serious collectors must have in their sets. It hides errors that turn a simple coin into something unforgettable. And most importantly, it keeps the spirit of Kennedy alive in the world of numismatics, honoring his legacy while giving collectors something meaningful to hunt for. If you own a 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to examine it under good light. Look carefully at the mint mark. Check the edges for clips. Study the portrait for cracks or doubling. You might be surprised by what you find. And if you want to know more about the value of your own coins, comment below about your coins so our channel can give you full information about them. This coin continues to attract collectors not only for its history but for the excitement of discovery built into every one of its varieties. That thrill, that moment when a collector looks at a coin and realizes it might be something rare, that is what makes the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar so unforgettable. And now, here is the part you have been waiting for: the real market value and auction worth. A rare high-grade 1981 Kennedy half-dollar with major errors or the Type 2 proof variety can sell for more than $4,000 in words. Comment below about your coins so our channel can provide full details for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment. And make sure to like the video. Top 5. The story of the United States Kennedy half-$2,000 begins at the turn of a new millennium, a moment when the entire world was stepping into the future with curiosity and anticipation. While technology was rapidly evolving and the 21st century was unfolding before everyone's eyes, the mint continued a tradition that began decades earlier: the minting of the iconic Kennedy half-dollar. And the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar, though modern, carries a surprising depth of mystery, hidden rarity, and collector appeal. Today, you and I are going to explore this coin together, not just as a piece of metal, but as a time capsule of a year filled with change, new beginnings, and unexpected treasures. So listen carefully, because this story unfolds like a journey through hidden corridors of numismatic history. When you first hold a Kennedy half-dollar from the year 2000, you immediately notice the classic design that has captured collectors' attention for generations. The bold portrait of President John F. Kennedy stands strong on the obverse, his hair detailed with fine engraving, the cheek and jaw sculpted with depth, the profile proud and determined. Turning the coin over, the eagle on the reverse spreads its wings with authority. The shield on its chest, the arrows and olive branch in its talons, and the 50 stars surrounding it all echo the spirit of American strength and unity. But what makes the 2000 half-dollar truly fascinating is not the familiar design, it's everything hidden beneath its surface. The year 2000 marked an important shift in circulation patterns. People were using cash less frequently, and the half-dollar had already become a coin that rarely appeared in everyday transactions. Because of this, many Kennedy half-dollars from 2000 were never widely released into circulation. Instead, they remained stored in bags and rolls, untouched for years. This means a large number of these coins remained in excellent condition, preserving their original mint luster. But just because many survived doesn't mean all are common, far from it. The real treasures are the rare errors, unusual varieties, and top-grade examples that collectors spend years searching for. One of the most intriguing parts of the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar series is the difference between the Philadelphia and Denver mint strikes. The Philadelphia Mint Mark P appears on some coins, while the Denver Mint Mark D appears on others. Each mint has its own striking characteristics, its own quality variations, and its own error patterns. Collectors study these differences closely because a tiny detail from one mint can make the difference between a common coin and a highly valuable rarity. Now let's explore the universe of errors that make the year 2000 Kennedy half-dollar so thrilling for collectors. One of the most exciting errors is a double die strike. Imagine looking closely at the date 2000 or the word liberty and seeing a shadow-like doubling effect. This kind of doubling occurs when the die shifts slightly during preparation, creating a second, faint image. A strong double die on a modern half-dollar is extremely rare, making it an instant collector prize. Another dramatic error is the off-center strike. When the blank planchet is not properly centered under the die, the design strikes off to one side, leaving part of the coin blank. A slight off-center might look like a gentle shift, but a dramatic off-center can show large empty arcs and missing parts of the portrait. These errors are highly desirable because they show the minting process going wrong in a beautiful way. Die cracks are another feature collectors chase. These appear as raised lines running across the surface of the coin, sometimes through Kennedy's hair, across the cheek, or stretching toward the rim. Die cracks occur when a die begins to fracture, and every crack pattern is different. Collectors love these because they make each coin unique. Some cracks create shapes that look like lightning bolts, shooting across the coin like energy trapped inside the metal. Clipped planchets are another rarity in the 2000 series. These coins have a curved section missing from the rim, caused when the metal sheet is misaligned during the cutting process. This error is instantly noticeable and completely transforms the coin's appearance. The bigger the clip, the more dramatic and the more valuable the coin becomes. Then we have struck-through errors, where foreign material such as grease or debris is trapped between the die and the planchet during striking. This causes sections of the design to appear missing, flattened, or blurred. A strong struck-through error can affect Kennedy's face, the lettering, or even parts of the eagle on the reverse. These errors are very popular because each one is a one-of-a-kind accident, but the true gems of the 2000 half-dollar series are the high-grade examples, those that survived with flawless surfaces, deep luster, and mirror-like shine. Coins graded at mint state 67 or 68 are incredibly attractive to collectors, and mint state 69 examples are breathtaking rarities. These coins look as if they just rolled off the press seconds ago, untouched and glowing with brilliance. The year 2000 also produced beautiful proof coins from the San Francisco Mint. These proof Kennedy half-dollars feature mirror-bright fields and frosted designs that stand out with striking contrast. Deep cameo proofs are the most sought after, with Kennedy's portrait appearing almost luminous against dark reflective surfaces. Proof coins from 2000 often appear in pristine condition, but the rare perfect grade proofs are the true stars, coins that collectors admire like polished jewels. What makes collectors love the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar is not only its age or its design, it's the thrill of possibility. Every coin hides a story. Every error is a surprise waiting to be discovered. Every high-grade example feels like a small miracle preserved for decades. And because the half-dollar had become less common in circulation by 2000, collectors appreciate these modern pieces even more. They represent a fading era of American coinage. If you own a 2000 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to examine it under good light. Look for doubling, examine the rim for clips, search the portrait for cracks, and study the surface for unusual textures. You may be holding a rare piece without even realizing it. And if you want to know the value of your own coins, comment below about your coins so our channel can give you full information about them. Collectors continue to search for the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar because it offers something special: beauty, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. It's a modern coin, yes, but its world is filled with excitement that keeps collectors coming back again and again. And now, here's the part you have been waiting for: the real market value and auction worth. A rare high-grade 2000 Kennedy half-dollar with major errors can sell for more than $3,000 in words. Comment below about your coins so our channel can provide full details for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment. And make sure to like the video. Top 6. The story of the Montana 2007 State Quarter is a journey through rugged mountains, wide open skies, and the deep history of the American West. Today, you and I step together into the world of this fascinating coin, a small piece of metal that carries an entire story within it. Imagine holding a quarter that echoes the spirit of old Montana, where wild rivers sliced through the land, herds of bison thundered across the plains, and the sky stretched endlessly above everyone who explored it. This one simple coin honors that land, and today we uncover everything that makes it special, collectible, and sometimes unexpectedly valuable. When the United States Mint released the Montana State Quarter in 2007 as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program, it instantly stood out. On the reverse side, the dramatic skull of a bison dominates the design, placed in front of sweeping mountains and the phrase "Big Sky Country." There is something powerful about that image. Some collectors say it is one of the most artistic state quarters ever made. It captures history, nature, and Montana's proud identity all at once. Many people collected it the moment they saw it, not realizing that certain examples would later turn into treasures worth far more than face value. The design story begins with the frontier itself. The bison skull symbolizes strength, survival, and the legacy of the great American West. The mountains behind it show the towering Rocky Mountain Range. And the phrase "Big Sky Country" tells the story of open horizons that make Montana feel endless. Everything on this coin is placed with purpose, and that is why collectors love the design so much. But design is only the beginning. The true excitement starts when we look deeper into the minting process, the varieties, and the errors that turn ordinary coins into extremely valuable ones. The 2007 Montana quarter was minted at two main mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Millions were produced, but not all coins left the mint looking perfect. In fact, some slipped out with rare mistakes, unusual characteristics, or special varieties that collectors are still chasing today. These errors can transform a simple 25-cent piece into something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on condition and rarity. One of the most popular errors found on Montana state quarters is the double die error. This happens when the design strikes the coin more than once in slightly different positions. On the Montana quarter, doubling often appears on the words "Big Sky Country," the year 2007, and the bison skull itself. Under magnification, the doubling looks like ghost images layered on top of each other. Collectors love this type of error, and strong doubling always brings big value. Another rare and valuable error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not aligned correctly during minting. Some Montana quarters have been found missing 10%, 20%, or even more of the design, depending on how far off-center the strike was. The more dramatic the misalignment, the higher the value. A heavily off-center Montana quarter can easily sell for high prices in the collector market because it is both eye-catching and rare. Then there is the clipped planchet error, a strange and exciting variety where a portion of the coin's edge appears cut off. This happens when the blank metal piece used to strike the coin was incorrectly cut at the mint. Some Montana quarters show crescent-shaped clips, straight clips, or even double clips. These unusual shapes make each clipped coin unique. Collectors see them as mint-made artwork, and some of these clipped examples are worth far more than one might expect. A very desirable variety among collectors is the satin finish Montana quarter from the special uncirculated mint sets. These coins were not made for everyday circulation. Instead, they were crafted with a special finish that makes the surfaces appear smooth and silky, almost glowing under light. Because far fewer of these were made, and because they were carefully preserved by collectors, high-grade satin finish Montana quarters can be extremely valuable, especially when graded by top-tier grading companies. Another area that transforms coin value is condition. Many collectors underestimate how dramatically grade can influence the price of a coin. For Montana quarters, coins in higher mint state grades like MS-66, MS-67, and MS-68 can become incredibly valuable. Only a small fraction of coins survive in such pristine condition. Imagine the journey of a quarter that never receives scratches, pocket wear, machine marks, or stains. That rarity alone makes these untouched examples highly sought after. Now imagine combining a high-grade Montana quarter with an error, like a double die or off-center strike. Suddenly you have a coin that becomes the dream of many collectors. These coins appear only rarely and disappear quickly once collectors find them. That is why the Montana quarter has become one of the stars of the 2007 state quarter lineup. Collectors also pay attention to the strike quality. Some Montana quarters show weak strikes, meaning details like the mountains or the bison skull appear faint. Others show full, sharp strikes with every detail crisp and bold. A strong strike always demands more attention and value. Combined with eye appeal and luster, strike quality can push a coin's value significantly higher. But what truly makes the Montana 2007 state quarter interesting is the story it tells. Every collector who holds one feels that history and that wild spirit. This is why people do not simply collect this coin. They appreciate it. They enjoy it. And they look closely, hoping to uncover that rare treasure hidden in plain sight. You have a Montana quarter at home, in a drawer, in a small jar of coins, or even in your pocket right now. Take a moment to look at it carefully. Its details, its shine, and even its flaws may tell a story. And who knows? You might be holding something far more valuable than you think. Now we reach the final important part of today's video. The real market value of rare 2007 Montana state quarters can reach as high as $800 in words for extremely rare high-grade or error examples. And remember to comment below about your own coins so that our channel can provide information about them. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and comment. And please like the video. Top 7. We set out on a journey into one of the most peaceful, breathtaking, and surprisingly valuable modern United States quarters ever released, the 2015 Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge Quarter. At first glance, this coin looks calm, quiet, almost gentle. But behind that calm design lies a world of hidden rarity, fascinating minting mysteries, and unexpected collector excitement. If you are a coin lover or someone who enjoys discovering treasure in the most unexpected places, then get ready. Because the Bombay Hook 2015 quarter has a story that captures attention from the very first moment. Imagine a quiet morning in Delaware, in a place where the sky meets wetlands and birds glide silently above the water. That is Bombay Hook. The United States Mint wanted to capture the spirit of that untouched land, and in 2015, they did just that with this stunning quarter. On the reverse, two graceful herons stand in crystal-clear waters, surrounded by tranquil marshland. The design is almost like a painting, smooth, elegant, and filled with life. Some collectors say this is one of the most artistic designs in the entire America the Beautiful series, but what makes this coin even more interesting is not just its beauty. It is the extraordinary world of rarity, errors, and special strikes hidden behind its peaceful appearance. When the Bombay Hook quarter entered circulation, millions of people simply spent it without noticing what they had in their hands. But collectors who looked more closely discovered something amazing. Certain examples of this coin can be extremely valuable. Let us begin with the basic minting story. Bombay Hook quarters were minted at the usual locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But each mint ended up producing coins that collectors now examine with intense curiosity. Some coins were struck with perfect precision, while others left the mint with rare mistakes that today make them worth far more than the ordinary 25 cents. One of the most sought-after varieties is the silver Bombay Hook quarter from the San Francisco Mint. These coins, minted in 90% silver for collectors, have a beautiful mirror-like proof finish that reflects light like a small lens. These proof strikes often carry extremely sharp details, including delicate feathers on the herons and tiny patterns in the water ripples. When graded at the highest levels, these silver proofs can reach impressive values, especially if the surfaces remain flawless, but even more exciting are the error coins. And yes, the Bombay Hook quarter has several rare errors that collectors hunt with passion. One major error discovered on this coin is the double die error. With doubling on areas like the waterlines, the heron beaks, or the lettering, these coins become incredibly rare and striking. Under magnification, the doubled lines look like echoes of the original design, giving the coin a mysterious layered appearance. Some of the strongest double die varieties have sold for significant amounts because they are so hard to find. Another rare minting issue is the die break error. These appear as raised lines, cracks, or small blobs of metal where the die used to strike the coin has fractured. Some Bombay Hook quarters show dramatic die breaks near the rim or across the water. Depending on the size and placement, these errors can make the coin highly collectible. Large die breaks that look like rivers of metal or raised cliffs across the design can bring very high value. Off-center strikes also exist for the Bombay Hook quarter. When the blank planchet is not aligned properly during striking, part of the design appears shifted or missing. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. A dramatic off-center Bombay Hook strike is extremely rare because modern minting machines catch most mistakes before they leave the facility. But a few still escaped, and those few have become treasures. Another fascinating error that collectors absolutely love is the retaining collar error, commonly known as the broad strike. This happens when the collar that normally holds the coin in place during striking malfunctions, allowing the metal to spread outward. Bombay hook broad strikes look visually unique because the rim appears stretched and smooth. These errors can be very valuable because they are easy to identify and extremely unusual. There are also struck-through errors, where foreign material like grease, cloth fibers, or other debris got between the die and the planchet during striking. Some Bombay hook quarters show large missing details or faint sections because of grease strikes. These unusual flaws draw serious attention from collectors who love unique mint-made imperfections, but beyond errors, the overall condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining value. Bombay hook quarters with blazing mint luster, sharp details, and no scratches are rare to find in circulation. Coins graded mint state 66, 67, or 68 can reach incredible values in the marketplace. A high-grade Bombay hook quarter almost glows under a light, with sweeping luster waves that dance across the surface. Collectors also cherish the 2015 satin finish versions, which were included in special uncirculated mint sets. These coins were never intended for everyday use. Instead, they were crafted with a smooth and silky texture that makes them look almost like miniature art pieces. Because fewer of these satin finish coins were made, and because many remain preserved, the highest graded examples are extremely valuable. Even more impressive are the deep cameo-proof strikes, where the design appears frosted against a mirror-like background. When you tilt one of these coins, it reflects like a tiny pool of water. These proof versions display every detail clearly: the feathers on the herons, the texture of the marshland, even the smallest lines of shading. Perfectly preserved proof coins graded at the highest levels can command strong prices, and while people might assume that modern quarters rarely become valuable, the Bombay hook 2015 quarter proves the opposite. A combination of low population high-grade examples, rare minting errors, and collector interest makes this coin one of the modern gems worth searching for. If you ever find a Bombay hook quarter in your pocket, your drawer, your old jars of coins, or in loose change, make sure you look at it closely. Turn it under a bright light. Study the details. Examine the lettering, the edges, the waterlines, and the herons. You may discover something rare, something beautiful, or even something extremely valuable hiding right there in your hands. Collectors love this coin not only for its potential value, but because it tells a quiet and peaceful story. It brings nature into the palm of your hand, letting you hold a moment of calm from the Delaware wetlands. And yet, the hunt for rare varieties and errors adds a thrilling layer of mystery to this otherwise serene design. Now we come to the final and most important part of the video. The real market value for rare high-grade or error examples of the 2015 Bombay hook state quarter can reach as high as $700 in words. Remember to comment below about your own coins so that our channel can provide information about them. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and comment. And please like the video. Top 8. We open the door to one of the most dramatic, historically powerful, and surprisingly valuable modern quarters ever released in the United States, the 2015 Saratoga quarter. This coin is more than a piece of metal, more than a commemorative design. It is a symbol of surrender, victory, strategy, and the turning point of the American Revolution. When you hold this coin in your hand, you are holding a moment that changed the destiny of a nation. And today, you and I are going to explore every mystery, every rarity, every error, and every hidden treasure that makes the Saratoga quarter one of the most thrilling modern coins to collect. Imagine a battlefield in 1777. The fog is low, the air is tense, and soldiers march with heavy breaths as the future of the young United States hangs in the balance. That moment of surrender at Saratoga, when British General John Burgoyne handed over his sword to American General Horatio Gates, became a spark of hope that echoed far beyond the battlefield. And in 2015, the United States Mint captured that exact historical moment on a single quarter. On the reverse of the 2015 Saratoga quarter, you see a hand, steady, firm, passing a sword to another hand ready to take it. It is a moment frozen in time, and yet the design feels alive. The shading of the gloves, the curve of the blade, the deep engraved shadows, all bring out the emotion and weight of the surrender. This coin tells the story of a nation's turning point in a way that feels personal, almost cinematic, but what makes this coin even more fascinating for collectors is what lies under the surface: mintage variations, rare strikes, errors, and high-grade examples that have shocked coin collectors with their value. The Saratoga quarter was minted at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But each mint produced coins with unique characteristics, and some of them ended up becoming extremely rare. The Philadelphia Mint, known for the P Mint mark, produced millions, but finding a perfect, flawless example in mint state condition is far more difficult than people think. These coins often come with small contact marks, tiny scratches, or weak strikes. That is why collectors pay so much attention to high-end Saratoga quarters from Philadelphia. A coin with sharp details in the gloves, the sword, and the folds of the sleeves becomes a rare treasure. The Denver Mint coins are known for their strong strikes, but even they contain rare surprises. Some examples from Denver have been found with incredible errors, including off-center strikes, double dies, die chips, and even partial missing designs. A Denver coin with a strong error instantly becomes valuable because it is so unusual for modern quarters to leave the mint with such dramatic mistakes. Then we come to the San Francisco Mint. This mint produced two special types: the uncirculated satin finish S coins and the breathtaking deep cameo-proof coins. The proof Saratoga quarters look like miniature artworks. The mirrored background shines like glass, while the frosted design, the sword, the gloves, the hands, stands out in bright contrast. When these proof coins achieve perfect grades, collectors are willing to pay impressive prices, but what truly elevates the excitement surrounding the Saratoga 2015 quarter are the mint errors. These errors turn ordinary circulation coins into rare collectibles worth hunting for. Let's explore the most valuable ones. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse or reverse. On the Saratoga coin, doubling may appear on the lettering, on the hands, or even along the sword blade. Under magnification, the doubled lines look like ghost images, making the design appear layered. Strong double dies are extremely rare, and when discovered, they can command serious money from collectors. Another fascinating error found on some Saratoga quarters is the die clash. This error occurs when the dies strike each other without a planchet in between, imprinting part of the opposite design onto each die. When the next coin is struck, faint outlines of details appear where they do not belong, like ghost traces of the sword, odd shapes in the background, or shadow patterns. Die clash coins always draw collector attention because each one is unique. Die cracks are another popular error. These appear as raised lines, often running across the gloves or near the rim. On some Saratoga coins, dramatic cracks form that look like lightning bolts cutting across the design. The larger and more visually striking the crack, the more valuable the coin becomes. Off-center strikes are among the most dramatic and valuable Saratoga errors. A coin that is struck 10%, 20%, or even 50% off-center becomes a breathtaking sight. The design shifts to one side, leaving a portion of the coin blank. These errors are extremely hard to find because the modern minting process rarely allows such coins to escape. Another rare error that excites collectors is the strike-through error. This occurs when foreign material, grease, metal shavings, cloth fibers, comes between the die and the planchet at the moment of striking. The affected area appears weak, blurry, or incomplete. These errors are highly collectible because they are true mint-made anomalies. Broad strikes also exist for the Saratoga quarter. These coins show expanded edges and a lack of the normal collar rim. They appear unusually wide and smooth. Broad strike errors are instantly noticeable and often sell for high prices among collectors who love visually dramatic mint mistakes. But even without errors, high-grade examples of the Saratoga 2015 quarter are incredibly desirable. Coins graded mint state 67, mint state 68, or higher are rare because modern circulation coins experience contact marks during production. A perfect or near-perfect example from Philadelphia or Denver can reach impressive values due to low population numbers, collectors also treasure the satin finish versions from the San Francisco Mint sets. Their silky texture, smooth surface, and sharp details give them a unique appearance that stands out from regular circulation coins. These coins often grade very high and attract collectors who appreciate mint set exclusives. The proof coins, especially Deep Cameo and Ultra Cameo, are considered the jewels of the series. Their dramatic contrast, flawless surfaces, and mirror backgrounds make them visually stunning. Collectors seek out the highest grades possible, and perfect scores can make these coins quite valuable. What makes the Saratoga quarter so special is that it blends history, beauty, rarity, and mystery all into one design. It captures a turning point in the American Revolution, yet it also offers collectors a modern treasure hunt with exciting errors and rare varieties. Every time someone finds one, they feel that spark of discovery, wondering if their quarter is just ordinary, or if it carries the magic of rarity hidden beneath the surface. You ever come across a 2015 Saratoga quarter in your change? Take a moment. Tilt it under a light. Look at the smallest details, the fingers, the sword blade, the lettering, the rim. You might be holding something that collectors search years to find, and now we reach the final moment. The real market value of rare high-grade or major error examples of the 2015 Saratoga quarter can reach as high as $800 in words. Comment below about your own coins so our channel can provide information about them. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment. And do not forget to like the video. Top 9. We are stepping into a world shaped by thunderous cannons, riverboats, and one of the most critical moments in American history. And amazingly, all of that story, every ounce of that power, is captured inside a single coin that millions of people have held without ever realizing what treasure they were touching. This is the 2011 Vicksburg National Military Park quarter, one of the most dramatic and visually powerful designs of the entire America the Beautiful series. And today, you and I are going to travel deep inside its history, its hidden rarities, its error varieties, and everything that makes this coin one of the most exciting finds for collectors all around the world. Picture the Mississippi River in the 1800s. The water is calm but thick with tension. Steam rises from a massive Union gunboat, the USS Cairo, cutting through the river as it prepares to strike one of the most strategic Confederate strongholds of the Civil War. The siege of Vicksburg would decide control of the Mississippi. It would shift the balance of power. It would change the war, and in 2011, the United States Mint chose to honor that exact historic moment. On the reverse of the Vicksburg quarter, the USS Cairo sits tall and silent in the water, fully armed, ready for battle. The details, the turrets, the smokestacks, the carved wooden frame, are so intricate that collectors say you can almost feel the era coming alive in your hands. It is more than a coin. It is a time capsule, but here is where the story becomes even more thrilling. The Vicksburg 2011 quarter, despite its modern appearance, is packed with rare errors, scarce high-grade examples, and hidden minting mysteries that have turned ordinary pocket change into collector gold. And today, we explore each of them one by one. The coin was minted at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But every mint produced its own unique surprises. Philadelphia coins carry the P mint mark. These coins, although plentiful, are extremely difficult to find in perfect condition. Most circulating examples have contact marks, scratches, faded luster, or weak areas on the ship's structure. This means a flawless, high-grade Vicksburg quarter from Philadelphia is far more valuable than most people expect. A Mint State 67 or 68 example from this mint becomes a true collector prize. The Denver Mint coins are known for stronger strikes overall. But even Denver had its share of surprises. Many collectors have found Denver examples with striking errors, including off-center strikes and die chips. Some coins from Denver display small raised lumps of metal on the waterlines or around the ship's turret area. These die chips are mint-made and make the coin more desirable. But then we arrive at the San Francisco Mint, home of the beautiful satin finish uncirculated coins and the stunning deep cameo-proof versions. The satin finish Vicksburg quarters look dramatically different from standard circulation coins. Their smooth, silky surfaces and their sharp definition bring out details in the ship that normal coins simply don't show. The proof coins, however, shine like small mirrors. Their polished background and frosted raised design create an effect so striking that the USS Cairo looks like it is illuminated right out of the metal. High-grade proof examples, especially deep cameo and ultra cameo, can reach excellent prices because their surfaces are extremely delicate and almost impossible to keep flawless. But the real excitement for collectors comes when we explore the mint errors that escaped into circulation. These errors make the 2011 Vicksburg quarter one of the most thrilling modern error coins to search for. One of the most valuable errors is the off-center strike. When this happens, the entire design shifts to one side, leaving a portion of the coin blank. Even a 10% off-center error can be rare. But dramatic off-center strikes showing large missing areas make the coin extremely valuable. For the Vicksburg quarter, such errors are highly sought after because modern minting machines rarely let these escape. Next, we have the double die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled. Doubling may appear on the word Vicksburg, the United States of America lettering, or even the lines of the ship. Under magnification, the doubled image is clear and unmistakable. Strong double dies are extremely rare and can bring high value. Struck-through errors also exist for this coin. These happen when a foreign object, grease, fabric, metal debris, comes between the die and the planchet. The result is missing details on the ship, faded letters, or flat patches on the water. These errors draw intense interest from collectors because each struck-through coin is one of a kind. Another exciting error on the Vicksburg quarter is the die break or cut error. These appear as raised blobs of metal, often near the rim or along the outline of the ship. Larger cuts make the coin extremely desirable because they show clear mint malfunction. A dramatic cut error transforms the coin into a collectible worth holding onto. Blind planchet errors, where the blank metal is imperfect before striking, can also be found. These errors create unusual surface textures or warping on the design. Any structural flaw created before the coin was struck becomes part of the final design, making these coins rare. Broad strike errors, where the collar fails to hold the planchet in place, cause the coin to spread outward with a wide, smooth edge. These errors are easily recognizable and instantly collectible. Sometimes, coins are double struck, meaning they receive two impressions from the dies instead of one. These dramatic errors show overlapping images of the ship, giving the quarter a ghost-like appearance. Double strikes are extremely rare for modern quarters, making any Vicksburg double strike incredibly valuable. Collectors have also identified rotated die errors on this coin. This happens when one die is misaligned, causing the reverse design to rotate relative to the obverse. Even a 15-degree rotation can bring serious collector interest. More dramatic rotations are extremely rare and can make the coin worth far more than face value. All these errors make the 2011 Vicksburg quarter one of the most exciting modern coins to search for. But even without errors, high-grade examples are rare and valuable. A perfectly preserved mint state coin with sharp details and blazing luster is hard to find in circulation because quarters undergo heavy wear. That is why well-preserved examples from rolls, mint sets, or sealed bags can be worth significantly more. Collectors also pay attention to how the light reflects across the surface. A high-quality Vicksburg quarter will show crisp lines in the ship's structure, sharp shading around the cannons, and clear definition in the water. Weak strikes, faded areas, or heavy marks lower the value dramatically, but the beauty of this coin is that every version, circulated, uncirculated, proof, error, satin, silver, tells a different story. And collectors love stories. This coin takes us from the Civil War battlefield to the modern mint. It connects the past to the present. It holds history, artistry, and mystery all in one. If you ever find a 2011 Vicksburg quarter in your change, take a moment to inspect it closely. Look at the edges. Turn it under a bright light. Examine the water lines, the cannons, the ship's deck. There might be a rare error hiding in plain sight. There might be a high-grade gem waiting to be discovered. Now we reach the most important part of the video. The real market value for rare high-grade or major error examples of the 2011 Vicksburg quarter can reach as high as $1,000 in words. Comment below about your own coins so our channel can provide full information about them. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and comment. And please like the video. Top 10. Imagine holding a small silver-colored coin in your hand, a coin that traveled through history not on a battlefield or inside an ancient vault, but through the pockets and lives of everyday Americans. This is not just any quarter. This is the Washington quarter for the island of Guam from 2009, a coin born from the District of Columbia and United States Territories program, a coin that quietly slipped into circulation but today carries stories, mysteries, and hidden treasures collectors would never want to overlook. And tonight, you and I are going on a journey together to uncover exactly why this single little quarter has captured the attention of coin lovers across the country. As you look closely at the coin, the reverse takes you far from the American mainland and straight into the heart of the Pacific Ocean. Guam, a place filled with rich cultural heritage, is represented through the outline of the island, the flying prow canoe, and the powerful latte stone pillar. These symbols aren't just decorations, they represent survival, pride, identity, and traditions passed down over hundreds of years. The mint engravers designed this coin with precision, trying to fit centuries of story into the small space of a quarter. And when you turn the coin, George Washington's familiar profile waits there, unchanged yet somehow more meaningful when paired with the island's legacy. But this coin's true magic doesn't appear at first glance. To appreciate it, you must understand the world into which it was born. The territory's quarters were released at a time when collectors were still recovering from the excitement of the original state quarter program. Many assumed the new set would simply be a continuation, nothing extraordinary, nothing that needed attention. But that assumption would soon prove wrong. With lower mintages, shorter production windows, and several batches struck during a period of intense machinery where at the United States Mint, the Guam quarter became a silent treasure, a coin that looked ordinary but hid extraordinary secrets. Collectors soon began noticing inconsistencies in certain rolls and bags of Guam quarters. Some coins had extremely sharp strikes, crisp outlines of the latte stones, and mirror-like luster, almost like they were caught between circulating and proof condition. Meanwhile, others had weak details, washed-out lettering and blurry island outlines, because the dies were nearing the end of their lifespan. Many of these differences, although subtle, created a world of rarity potential for sharp-eyed collectors ready to search. One of the most intriguing features of the Guam 2009 quarter is the range of error coins discovered across various regions of the United States. Among these, the double die obverse varieties stand out. These are not the dramatic doubling you might see on legendary coins like the 1955 cent, but they are still noticeable to collectors who know what to look for. Letters in the word Liberty or In God We Trust sometimes show slight yet clear doubling under magnification. These subtle anomalies transform an ordinary pocket quarter into something much more desirable. Then there are the die cracks, another charm for error enthusiasts. Some Guam quarters show cracks running across the canoe, the outline of the island, or even through the latte stones, like tiny lightning bolts frozen in metal. Every die crack is unique to the specific working die that created it, meaning each cracked die coin is literally a one-of-a-kind piece. Imagine owning a coin that not another collector on Earth can perfectly match. That alone sparks excitement, but the story doesn't end there. Another category of errors that attract serious collectors is off-center strikes. While rare, a few Guam quarters from 2009 have surfaced with noticeable misalignment, where the design shifts toward the edge and leaves a crescent of blank metal on one side. Errors like this almost never escape the mint, making each surviving example incredibly rare and highly prized among enthusiasts. There are also coins struck on damaged planchets, coins with missing clad layers revealing raw copper, and coins with partial collar errors creating strange ridges on the rim. For collectors, each of these errors represents an opportunity, a chance to own something few others will ever see in person. But even aside from errors, the Guam quarter earns attention because of its relatively lower mintages compared to the peak of the state quarter era. While millions were still produced, The number is noticeably smaller than the big state quarters from the late 1990s and early 2000s. Fewer coins in circulation means fewer chances to find high-grade examples. And when you combine that with the fact that many Guam quarters circulated heavily, finding a pristine specimen becomes a true challenge. Collectors especially seek out mint state grades from MS66 and above. At these levels, the coin must show virtually no scratches, no distracting marks, and full strike quality. Achieving this on a Guam quarter is far harder than most people realize, which is why high-grade examples consistently outperform expectations at marketplace auctions. Now imagine this: you stumble upon a Guam quarter that has unbelievable luster, razor-sharp details, and not a single deep mark across Washington's cheek, a truly stunning piece. That is the type of find collectors dream about, because a coin like that carries significant value. Not only because of its grade, but because it represents one of the more challenging entries in the territory's quarter set, and when collectors gather to discuss their favorite finds, it's fascinating how often the Guam quarter is mentioned. There is something about the island imagery, the bold canoe design, and the rich cultural meaning that connects with people. Even new collectors, those just stepping into the hobby, often say Guam is one of the earliest coins that catches their eye. That connection, that spark, is what keeps our hobby alive. Before we move to the final value discussion, let me tell you something very important. If you ever find a Guam quarter in your change, never rush to spend it. Look closely at every detail. Examine the lettering. Study the canoe, the latte stones, and the island outline. You never know, you might be holding a valuable error coin, a high-grade rarity, or even a piece worthy of professional grading. These surprises have happened to collectors many times, and they can happen to you too. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, here is the true market value. The real collector price and auction results for the 2009 Guam quarter in top condition can reach from $20 to several $100s depending on grade and error, with the highest premium pieces selling for as much as $500 in words. Make sure you comment about your own coins so our channel can tell you their real value. Do not forget to subscribe and comment, and also like this video to support the channel.